We're back with the 4th episode of the Our Life
Style
podcast. She hasn't gotten it yet. Once again, we have more guests. We had an amazing guest last week, and now we have another one. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Cassie. This is Drew, my husband. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
We're happy to have you guys. This is also the first time that we've met you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been following you guys for a while now, seeing what you guys
We're
are
friends,
doing.
though, right?
Yes.
We talk to each other.
Right.
So, but it's good to actually get to see you guys in person. You guys
Yeah, same.
So we are here in Chicago. So our last spot we were in Florida when we were doing. We were back at home, but we were in Chicago, and this is home for you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, born and raised.
So for everybody who doesn't know, who doesn't know you guys' greatness,
Okay.
give them your spiel. Who are you guys? What do you do?
Okay.
Is lifestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're lifestylers. Our dynamic is hotwifing.
Yeah.
For those of you who know what that is.
What school is hot wife?
So, well, hot wifing, okay. Well, my position in the hot wifing lifestyle, I'm a stag.
Mhm.
Typically, I'm a husband, boyfriend that likes to watch his wife be pleased by others. It doesn't stop me from being able to do anything.
Yeah,
but
we're still swingers, but it's just...
it's just our main
That's-
dynamic
yeah,
is I like to see her being pleased, turns me on. And she, as a hot wife, she's a wife that likes to be pleased by others. And most of the times it comes with men with certain will around me, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. A lot of people get it mixed up.
Yeah.
Cuck and hot
Yeah,
wife.
right.
Yeah.
It's completely different. It's
Completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially with that, you get mixed up a lot. So I always have to tell people, you have to tell them your dynamic, or
Yeah.
they
People get confused.
Yeah, they will get
Yeah.
confused and assume you're one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do that from the start.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
Definitely.
because when the bull is coming in thinking that it's a tough situation.
Yeah.
You have to
The
explain
energy,
that.
the energy, yeah.
Real fast, and I can feel it.
Yeah.
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 Bro.
Right,
Like,
relax.
bro. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Relax.
That's all
man.
that's about.
That's
Right.
not what that is.
Exactly.
Okay. So, hot wife, stag. How long have you guys been in the lifestyle?
Over 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the biggest question that we always get is how? What made you want to do it?
The fun part, huh?
Well, so me and Drew have been married since we were 19 years old.
19.
We got married pretty young.
Young.
We're 32 now.
Nice.
So we got married when we were 19, pretty young. I was a virgin. He was my first.
And I was kind of in high school. I was the what you call a
Player.
yeah. I was nicknamed Casanova and had a lot of sexual experiences. So I came with a lot of experiences.
So I did it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, continue. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So you know, over the years, like you get curious. So I got curious of like what it would be like to have an experience with someone else, you know. And I used to bring up questions like every now and then, but it didn't go too far. But we were watching this movie. Do you guys know the movie Hall Pass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
Owen
Wilson.
Wilson.
Oh my goodness.
We love that movie. That's like one of our favorite
Yeah,
movies.
we want.
So we were we were watching that movie.
Yeah.
We were watching that movie, and you know, their wives gave them a hall pass
Right.
because they were like, you know, intrigued by other women. So when we were watching the movie, I just kind of like brought it up, like, because we're movie heads, we love movies, like
Crazy. Yeah.
like so. I brought it up. We were talking about it, and you know, it kind of went from
The
there.
what if questions.
Questions of, you know, how he would feel about it and how would I feel about it. So, but it definitely didn't happen right away.
I was gonna say, how long did
It took some years.
Yeah.
It took some years, like a lot of communication.
A lot of
Communication, because you have to get to a point to where he's able to accept that. You know, he's my husband. He needs to be comfortable. He needs to be able to accept that.
She's the one that
I need to be able to, but I'm very open-minded. I'm very free spirit.
We like, you want to do this?
I'm right into things.
I'm the reserved one. Like,
He's
okay,
very
let's figure
reserved.
it
He
out.
thinks for us.
So wait a minute, like.
Yeah, right. I'm always that one.
And I like to have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it took years of conversation, talking, you know,
Arguing, everything.
and eventually we got to a point to where we just tried it with this guy.
Who was the guy? Like, Was he like someone you found? Was he a friend? Was he?
He was
Let's
like-
look at Craigslist.
Craigslist. You remember when Craigslist used to have like?
I think we've had a Craigslist person here and there, right, babe?
Yeah.
So Craigslist is crazy, but it's not the same anymore.
It's
But
not the same.
Yeah.
I miss it.
so, but we
Yeah.
found the guy on Craigslist. So I mean, we explained everything to him, and he was cool with it. But that was my first experience with another guy, and it was the day that Alien Covenant had came out. So we were like all geeked to go to that movie, but we was like, let's just go ahead and do it, get over it. You know, when you first start this
Yeah,
stuff,
you're
like
like-
you don't
It's
jump right into it.
the
You're
craziest-
nervous.
Yeah.
You know,
You're so nervous.
you're really nervous,
Yeah.
and it's scary. And for me, you know, I've never been with anybody else, so for me,
Right.
I'm like, ooh, I don't know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
So it happened, and you know, he didn't know how he felt about it.
I was every way. It's,
You're like,
When it
I like
happened.
I
I
don't
was,
like it, I hate it.
yeah, it was like I was turned on, angry, disappointed,
Yeah.
sad, but curious at the same time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to feel,
Yeah.
but I wanted to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah,
But instead we didn't. We were like, let's just go see the movie.
Okay.
we went to go see the movie,
Okay.
And not
and we didn't
think
really
about
say
it.
much about
Oh,
it.
so you did it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
We did
Didn't
it.
do anything. Like, didn't talk about
We
it.
didn't talk
No.
about
You
it.
just went on a regular vanilla date like
And we went on a regular date. We went on a regular date to see the
You
movie.
probably don't even know what the movie was about.
Oh, it was,
You know. You saw it.
right.
You
Like-
Oh, we had to go back 2 days later to see it
To see it
again.
again.
Yeah, I probably,
There's
yeah.
no way
Because we had to talk about it, obviously.
yeah.
So, for me, it was, I guess for me, I was more so concerned about how my husband felt, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's a concern for me. Like, I wanted to know how he felt and if he was okay with it. Like, when I first started, I was kind of nervous when we first got going. But then after a while, you know, you get comfortable.
Yeah.
After a while, that's anybody.
Yeah.
So I got comfortable after it got going. I got a little more relaxed.
Yeah,
And
and-
I was fine.
And for
But-
me, I was able to see it. I was able to see her body language changing,
Yeah.
the moans. And I'm like, what should I do? Should I just people's elbow them? Or I didn't know what to do. It was like, but
but
yeah,
it wasn't so bad for me. It was just I was concerned about how my husband took it because obviously we have to do this together, you know.
Right.
So it can't be a fluent, you know, situation if we're not doing this together.
yeah,
So
Yeah, I mean that first time is definitely odd for a man, and especially just for us.
yeah,
You know, it's like you said you wanted to talk about it. You didn't know if you liked it,
Yeah.
how you felt about it, because I was like the same way.
right, yeah,
How did you feel?
I was sitting here like, for one, I can't be upset because we spoke about this.
Right.
exactly
We
right.
already spoke about this,
Okay.
and I was kind of the one who brought this upon
Right.
us. But at the same time, yo,
Right, it's just it's surreal, yeah,
like yo, in all of my life, that has not been okay.
right,
It has
Well,
not
yeah.
been okay. All
yeah,
my life,
especially in
you know
our
what I'm
culture,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
So I don't have a friend that I can go call and talk to. Like,
Yeah.
Yo, babe, guess I'm thinking about this. Like, no. Like, so I always say, like, when we have our parties, it's not like I can go talk to the homeboys, my
Right.
guys I grew up with, my
Right.
best friends. Like, I keep that completely separate.
exactly,
Because
yeah,
they're not in it, they're vanilla. I
Right.
don't want to. I'm not trying to tarnish them, or also not trying to make them feel
Feel a
uncomfortable.
certain way,
yeah,
Because you can get that feeling sometimes
Yeah.
when you're not, but you know your friends are. If they make a joke to us,
always think
it's
you're
just a
gonna-
joke.
yeah.
yeah,
But
What's another, like,
and
that's
everybody
coming
like,
from
are they
me?
trying to?
yeah. They don't, yeah, I get that, yeah,
So that's why we don't really have anybody to talk to. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
when you said that, so it's like I know that feeling.
yeah, and
all the way.
it's such a, and it's like even after that, you like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
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 And I was like, should we quit? See, if we never did it to really become a hot wife couple, it was just
Yeah.
we want to get her
we were just
experiences,
done it for experiences at first.
and
Okay.
we opened Pandora's box.
Yeah. So we just evolved that way.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We
Yeah.
found out what we like, what we
Yeah.
don't like, you know.
Especially like our second time. My second
Yeah.
time was what really
So
was.
after
Like,
the first time, how long did you guys wait? Was it more like it happened again right away, or like
No, it was like,
yeah, some time.
yeah, it was some time.
Yeah.
7-8 months
Yeah.
at least. And
Yeah, it was definitely some time.
we talked about it a lot, and
Yeah.
it is funny because we actually like I recorded a little bit of it, and you can actually see what was going on. You can see how terrified I was to record. You can see her body language changing. Yeah, and so we got on, what was it, the Swingers Lifestyle?
I think so.
Yeah, and we met a guy. And this is like, the journey takes you on so many things. You don't know, it's more. It's always more.
Mm-hmm.
So we like, okay, let's try it again. But this time, I'm like, okay, I don't just want to watch. Let's do a threesome. Maybe I feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
We meet this guy, and he's a nice guy, but in the lifestyle, you find out some things that are more. The guy so happens to have 10 inches. I'm like, okay, 10 inches. I'm like, I only got like a good 6, all right? How am I handle this?
Yeah.
But you know, like, he's a good guy.
Well, you got thrown into the fire.
Yeah, so, but...
Second time?
Second time, 10 inches. I'm like, it just so happened he had 10 inches. So, and I'm like, you know, I'm like, Cassie's small. She's not going to be able to take it.
Yeah, she's tiny. You guys, I was like, I did not expect that.
Yeah, and that happened, and that was a crazy experience.
So I ended up getting able to accommodate it.
Okay, I was like, what happened?
Easily.
So that happened, and
And that was, I'm like, well, we just went through this. I'm like, oh, it's more.
So then I found out that, like I said, it's not a requirement at all, but I found out that I do enjoy oversized, members.
Yeah.
And that was like an eye opener. It was like, whoa, there's more to this that you like, and it's like, it was just in that moment. I was like, what, again? But I was curious. It's like, okay, it's new body language, new moans.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she really likes this, and then it took time for me to adjust to that. Because, coming from our culture, and you're supposed to be masculine, man, and these things are happening, and you're like, oh, she's enjoying more. And you're like, how do I handle this? And it took a lot of talks, but eventually it became a turn on. And she's the type of person, like, she likes something, she likes it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I adjusted to it.
Okay.
he wasn't forced. Okay.
No. It's never a situation. I'm reserved, but I'm very curious.
Yeah.
So, and she's the type,
Just
she pushes
her
my
taking
curiosity.
Out of you,
It's like, she's like, you want to try something? And I'm like, okay. Yeah, and it's like, my curiosity gets the best of me. So it's never like I'm forced. Yeah.
Man, so it's cool that you're paying attention to the body language.
Yeah.
That's kind of our role in all of it.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
the best part.
I'm looking at her eyes. I'm looking at her
Right.
Yeah, he can tell when I'm done.
We got so much
this is it.
nonverbal communication.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
It's like, she give me the look, I know when it's time to go.
Right.
I know when we're good, we don't have to change anything.
Right.
You need to change what he's doing now.
Right. Okay.
All just by the look.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like to hear you say that. Now, you prefer the oversized, right? Is that how did you guys set these rules up amongst yourself? Like, and then who does the planning? Because I hear you say you got there and then you find out. Wouldn't you have known prior to that?
With the guy?
Oh, the tennis guy?
Yeah.
No, we found out before, but it was like the very last sentence.
Okay.
And we didn't talk about it. Like, I kind of want to talk about it. But she's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Then, you know what? Maybe it's not a big deal. And it's just like you wanted to avoid that factor, which we should have talked about.
Yeah.
So we just was like, So,
and it's not like, honestly, it's not like it's a preference for me, because I've had some situations to where oversized can be painful for me too.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not a preference for me. I just have times when I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
No, and she's not oversized at all.
yeah.
But if it's a long night of drinking and stuff, okay,
Maybe.
right? You know what I mean?
Right.
But on a regular, no.
Yeah, but she's the same way.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not all the time.
Yeah, that replay be beautiful because she was
Love the replay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've gotten like swollen sometimes because of
Yeah.
oversized. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so after that being your second time now, right?
Okay.
So, and you guys are learning more and more and more
Right.
what you do and don't like.
Right.
Where do you stand now? Like, how do you compare yourself now from back then, when you were just getting into it?
I would say,
Kids are being watched tonight, we know.
Right.
How do you plan your date out?
Okay. So as far as meeting people, normally he'll contact her. For me, we kind of do it that way because sometimes we know when it was me talking, they'll change it up when they talk to her. So they're more honest when they talk to her.
Yeah.
So it's like they'll say more. So you'll find out they're a jerk quicker. They'll send a dick pic sooner because they think, oh, I'm just talking to her and my dick can convince her. So and normally with me, they're nicer. They're super gentlemen.
Yeah.
So I'd rather them be honest come that way. So she'll tell me, hey, this guy.
Yeah, we're real like transparent with each other.
Yeah.
We tell each other
It's
everything.
like, well, this guy reached out. He's decent. What you think? And we'll talk about it. And if I feel like, well, I mean, he was cool. We'll try it out, And as far as how we plan it out, we sit, we watch a comedy movie, take a couple of drinks. Yeah, and comedy movies and Marvel movies are what helps us calm down. I know it's weird, but we always have a Marvel movie on or comedy movie, and it's kind of just we just bounce off ideas. We don't go too deep into it now compared to before.
Yeah.
Before we like, okay, what if he does this? What if he does that? What are you gonna do with that? And
I think that's how
We had a lot of rules at first.
oh goodness, I'm
Now we're
embarrassed.
pretty. We don't really have a lot of rules now, but
My very first rule. Okay. This is weird. It was like no doggy style. You can't look in the eyes. You gotta close your eyes. No kissing. No missionary. It's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, what are you? Yeah, it was like I was almost like you can't give him a blowjob. You can't deep throat it. Just the tip.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So it was embarrassing. And her, she was just like, she's just free about everything, and it's dope. And I was just trying to catch up, and just over time, the rules started breaking. Because when you do it, I didn't want to suppress her because at that point it's not as fun. She isn't able to fully relax.
Yeah.
And for me, I noticed that if she's not fully relaxed, I'm like, okay, I'm not into it. But when she's relaxed, I'm like,
Because
oh,
you can feel it.
yeah, you can
feel it.
and then a lot of people don't understand it. You have to be that husband to really know that it's just a different type of emotion to feel.
Yeah.
You can see everything and feel everything she's experiencing. So it's like, it just every year just broke down that barrier.
Yeah.
And it really just, I want to say, end of 2021 is when we really were just all out, just good. And now it's just like whatever.
because even though we've been doing it, you still have your ups and downs. You still, have your challenges or things that you don't like, and then you have to talk about it.
It's ongoing. It's like I have a term for work that I use, like continuous improvement.
Right.
So you work so hard to fix a process, but honestly, within the next month or two, you back trying to continue that
Exactly.
and improve that process.
Right.
It's the same with us. Been in it for many years.
Right.
And things can change.
Yeah. It's always new
desires
things.
can change.
Yeah.
Feelings can change.
Exactly.
So you're constantly talking and you're kind of in the same page as to what
Right.
you do, what you are okay with. Hey, I want to try this. I saw some people doing this. I want to do that. Right. So
Right.
our dynamic, she doesn't talk to anybody.
Right.
Now, a lot of people take that the wrong way and
Right.
think it's kind of controlling, but
Yeah.
she doesn't want to.
Yeah, it's about what works for you guys.
Yeah, so a lot of people think it's controlling or
That I don't know.
that she has no clue about it, and that I'm setting it up.
Right.
And which I didn't know initially, that a lot of men do fake it.
Yeah,
they're
it's,
saying their
yeah.
wives are down, they're down,
And they're not,
And
yeah.
then they pull up to the dinner and they're
Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So, but she has no desire. She don't want to text. She don't want to see pictures.
Right.
When they talk, my role is to get us there.
Right.
Based off of our rules.
Right.
And what she likes and what we like and what
Right.
we're going to do. She trusts that, and then we get there and we vibe after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that could very well change in a year or two, whatever it is. And it's just kind
Whatever
of
works for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what works for you guys.
You know, a lot of people ask us. A lot of people ask, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? The most common answer we provide is just the communication between you and your spouse.
That's it. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Communication, because it's not what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
What I do may not work. I can give you an idea of how we got here, but
Yeah.
you have to be the one.
What works for you?
have to
Yeah.
talk to
We've
her,
had-
you have to talk to you.
We've had people ask us like, or ask me, they'll write, on Twitter, and they'll be like, how do I get my wife to be like you?
Yeah.
How do I get my wife to get into this stuff and
Right, you
and
don't
like this
just-
stuff
right.
like you? And I'm like, well, she has to like it first off.
Right.
Like she has to want to do this. Like you can't force her.
You
Right.
cannot make
like,
her do it because when she's doing it out of force, like I said,
Then it's not
you
gonna
can
end
feel
well,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can feel
You
it.
Yeah.
can feel it. You know it's going to affect you. She ain't having a good time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be. it has to be mutual. And unfortunately, if she don't want to get there, or if he doesn't want to get there,
Exactly.
then this is not for you.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not.
That's
It's
the
not.
truth.
But then that also leads to the next one. How many single men, how many coupled men do you get who say that they're single?
Oh, wow. Almost
A lot.
majority of them.
Yeah, a lot.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, they say they're single.
A lot of
but
guys,
actually married.
and they're
Oh my
actually married
Wife
a
has no
lot.
clue what they're doing.
Yeah, and they do the same thing. They
And I
have-
do not
yeah.
like that at all.
No, 'cause
I
it's
don't
not
like
about
it
that.
at all.
Yeah, it's
And those men think it is. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not okay.
lifestylers, so
It's not okay at
Yeah.
all. I don't like that.
And that's why we don't really play with non-lifestyles.
Yeah.
It has to be lifestyles because they know they're like-minded.
Right.
They're thinking the same, they're moving the same way. So lifestyles aren't really cheating when they're spouse.
Exactly.
And lying
Yeah.
to their spouse.
Yeah.
So what's their go-to line? The married, single.
So they always have these similar things. Like, we meet them, they have this so much energy beforehand. All this energy, and you meet them, and then if we possibly play with them, the day after, always the day after, because we always do like a day after text, like, hey, we have fun, da-da-da.
yeah.
If they're a couple guys, a single guy with a wife, whatever, they never respond. You won't get a response to maybe a week later. You're like, okay, that's the first time. And then eventually they'll go on, a month later, they'll text you back. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you'll talk to them a little bit, they'll disappear again. And then after that, hey, why? We kind of know you married.
Right.
You said,
I've gotten to the point where I just ask people,
Are you
Yeah.
are you married?
For real?
Like, are you in a relationship?
Why?
Because if you are, we don't want to
and
be
they
with.
always say, you know, I got somebody, she doesn't want to do
She
it.
doesn't like
used
the
to-
lifestyle,
she
but
doesn't
she's
like the
okay with
lifestyle.
me
She's
doing
okay with
it.
me doing
Yeah,
it.
she
Yeah.
okay with me. Oh,
Okay with me.
goodness.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
line. Every
I'm like,
single
yeah,
one of them.
no.
We're
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time. Every time.
But I think that they've got driven to that point because I've told people, if you cannot live this lifestyle 100%,
Yeah.
don't even do it.
Yeah, don't at all.
Because when you get into it,
Right.
you're gonna love this shit.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
you get addicted. It's,
You're
yeah.
gonna love it. You're gonna get addicted, and it's gonna be so hard to go back home
Yeah.
to vanilla
It's
life.
too-
I was gonna ask, after like putting your stuff on Twitter, did anybody start recognizing you guys like family wise or like friends?
Recently.
I just want to see his reaction.
Recently, yes.
Yes. And how'd you guys like react to that? Like,
So, at first, like you would get like high school friends.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Who would recognize you, and I don't really care about that. Whatever.
Yeah.
And most, they didn't care. They're like, we want to say anything.
They like, we're not
Yeah.
saying anything, you know.
why? If you come across it, that means you're looking at.
Yeah, you're in the
Like,
same
I'm
thing.
saying,
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
But recently, oh my God, I don't care about being honest about this. But, so my stepsister.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna put her name out there.
Yeah,
Can't drop
no.
names. But so my stepsister came across my page.
Okay.
She said her ex-husband came across my page, but anyways, she found my page, took screenshots of pictures, clips, and everything, showed it to my whole
Everything.
family, my mom, everybody.
Yeah. And I'm
Oh
deemed the
my
king.
God.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So like hating or trying to expose
We
or like
had-
what? Like
No, me and her never had like any bad relationship. It was always love
Great.
there. Supposedly it's because of some guy. Supposedly. Some guy.
They liked
she
her in high
likes.
school.
Some guy she likes. Well, she was in some relationship with. He had a thing for me when I was in high school. I've never dated this guy. I've never slept with this guy. Nothing.
okay.
Yeah.
But
that's-
because
Because of that?
he's mentioned me to her, made her feel a certain way.
Yeah.
She gets irritable. She's irritated by me or whatever, and I guess she
Wanted to expose
Yeah.
you.
felt like she wanted to
Expose us
expose
to
me.
family.
Okay,
So
so
she got my
thinking she's gonna do
cousins, my
something
other
wrong,
siblings.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So
So
yeah.
we've had a few family members like, we don't care. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Long as
had
you're
like,
happy.
some family members
Yeah.
like
But we come from a very religious family.
Yes,
I
very
feel like
religious.
most people who live in a black culture come from that
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of setting, and they can look down on you about it,
Yeah.
but they accept cheating like at all time.
which I don't understand how you just
Yeah.
cheating,
Yeah.
but you are against lifestylers. Like I don't understand.
And we're happy.
that,
It hasn't changed anything in our lives, and even in
Yeah.
our regular
but we're still
lives.
normal people.
Still normal people.
Like, husband and wife. We have our kids. They go to
Who
school, do their
excel.
sports. Like just normal
Yeah,
Just
stuff.
got a little extra kick to our life, you know?
Yeah.
We had the same thing, and it took us a while just to get over it.
Right.
Because we were hiding our life for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time. And ours got blown up.
Okay.
From the airplane video.
Mm-hmm. That's
and,
when
Oh, wow. Yeah, the viral. Okay, wow.
Yeah. So then it was like, oh shit, they know.
Wow.
Everybody knows. So it wasn't that of screenshot and send it, which some people have though.
Okay.
But that wasn't how it started. It started from that. So then it was like,
first it was like, oh shit, no, that's not us.
yeah, no,
Wow.
no, it's not
Yeah.
us. It's not us.
And
It's
then-
Lookalikes. Okay.
We were just like,
right, like
fuck
that's
it.
you. but then eventually, we got to the point like, yo, this is our life.
Right.
Yeah.
This is our life. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of our life.
You have to own it.
And I'm living.
Yeah, we're not
I'm
hurting
living it.
anybody.
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
kids
Yeah.
are good. Like,
Yeah, everything
You're
is
still
just
normal
good.
people.
And
Like,
honestly, like you guys, we when we freaked out about it, we like they just be having fun and like we're like, so it kind of seeing you guys kind of helped us feel more
Right.
comfortable
Oh.
Yeah.
about we can just live this and be us,
Just
and it
be
doesn't
us.
change
Be
anything.
us.
Yeah, and
I mean, me personally, I just didn't care.
oh yeah,
Because
it was me. It was me.
Yeah.
I was there.
What
I
anybody
cared.
thinks
I
about
cared
me.
because I'm corporate. I'm
Right.
corporate, but I
Yeah.
always have been. So I cared. I always cared about my parents, how I looked.
Yeah.
I just dressed, moved a certain way
Right.
because of that.
Yeah.
So, but then when I got to that point, I was like, and because how you said, I was out there when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was out there, right? So I know how people act. I know what.
Yeah, you know what it
I know
is,
what
yeah.
married people are doing.
Exactly.
that look down on
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
what they're doing.
I know what they're doing.
Exactly.
I was with you at the team function.
Yeah.
When you were trying to fuck
Yeah.
the secretary in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or when we went to the strip club afterwards. I'm like, y'all are all on some shit. But
I get
But
that.
mad that
but,
we.
but, but when,
Yeah.
so when I came to that realization, man, I mean, fuck what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
Anybody.
And
Literally,
and
anybody.
that's so
you
true.
shouldn't, like, honestly, as long as you guys
Yeah.
are happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because,
as
you
long as
know,
we're happy.
The one thing you find coaching sports, almost every coach wants to fuck everybody's mom.
Yes.
Literally.
Yep.
Yes.
And you watch them, they all have wives. And
Yes.
I'll be like, you don't judge me. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
definitely
like you've
agree
got
with
no room. People have no room to say anything just because of the life that they live, and we see
Yeah.
we see the cheating husbands and cheating wives.
that. Yeah.
So you can't point fingers. Stay in your house.
Stay right. Stay out of our
Stay in
right.
your house. I'm grown.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm grown. My house is taken care of. My
Yeah.
kids are taken care
Exactly.
of. I'm not hurting anybody. She's not hurting anybody. We're not breaking any rules.
Exactly.
As long as that's okay,
Right.
stay in your fucking house.
Exactly. And that's beautiful.
You
That's
shouldn't have a
what
thing
you
to say. Somebody posted on Twitter about a guy who posted saying that he believes that people who have something to say about how the lifestyles of the people who are making content and can make money off of it, how they're either jealous or they're kind of just into their feelings.
Yeah.
So either one of those two, just turn your head. And then somebody responded and said, well, you're devaluing your body by doing that. And typically we don't get into like, because we're just positive, everything.
Exactly.
But I had time. So it's like, well, where does value come from? Like your value is different from your value.
Yeah.
Different from your value.
Exactly.
So
Right.
you don't know what the fuck, right? I mean,
Right.
so hey, like some people can go to a nude beach and enjoy themselves. Other people can say, I would never show my body, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's okay,
That's how
yeah.
you roll.
Right.
Some people have sex before marriage. Some people have sex after marriage. Some people don't even have sex at all.
At all, right.
At all. It's like what you want to eat. You can't tell me that what you're eating is better than mine.
Exactly.
So I'm an adult and I'm taking care of what I need to take care of.
Right.
You shouldn't have shit to say to me.
Exactly.
Don't be, and yes, it does come off as you're jealous if somebody is
Yeah.
doing this and being able to monetize it.
Yeah.
If you have anything to say that's negative, then it comes off as you are being jealous because there's nothing affecting you.
Exactly.
Not in your house.
Yeah.
You're not talking to your husband or your
Your
wife.
wife.
Exactly.
You-
Right,
you
and I'm not
don't-
telling them what to
Yeah.
and we're not telling you what to do. And then we're not even trying to, hey guys, come on, everybody join this video, man. We don't
Yeah.
fucking, no, we're
Right.
not doing
Right.
that.
I think the moment we realized that and started living that,
Okay.
it's just been like even more amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see,
of
that's
course.
dope. Yeah.
Not having to worry or like watch
Yeah.
your back, so to
Yeah.
say. Like who gives a fuck what anybody says? Like now
Yeah.
we like even in normal conversation, like people know now because we talk freely. We don't
Yes.
like
Talk,
we
yeah.
don't
okay.
talk about it, but if something like comes up out of the conversation, we'll
Yeah.
say something.
We definitely
Yeah.
yeah.
Before we be like,
Yeah,
don't
we-
say that because
Yeah.
they're gonna think like
Right.
yeah.
I was like, I don't care.
So I think Yeah, life is good. Yeah.
I've noticed what I see is that swinger couples just look happier.
Yeah,
They do. They are
look
happier.
happier.
Communication is just different.
Yeah. And it goes beyond the fucking.
It's way beyond that.
It
People don't
goes
get that.
beyond that. Now, we had a play date 2 weeks ago, but the rest of our life from 2 weeks with work, job, going to the gym, just you and I. We got the kids, we got this and that. It's all different.
Yeah,
how we carry ourselves is significantly different.
Yeah.
And you hear those men who are struggling, not having sex at all, hating their wife.
Yeah.
But then we also hear the wives who are not getting what they want non-sexually out of their man. You know, like our
communication is
vibe
just so different.
Our bond is so crazy now because of what we were able to do, and it's like our needs are being filled, whether it's sexual or emotional. It's because it's all all working together.
Right.
Everything is literally perfect. Like we don't have the dumbass arguments that say I used to have. Like and probably other people. I've seen it a lot. Swinger couples are just happier than non-swinger couples.
They are.
That's facts. I
And
see that.
there are some outliers, 100%.
Yeah, you always,
100%,
no matter what,
it's
it's always
But from what
outliers.
I've seen, it's like night and day.
It's just that level of communication. You can't beat that. It's just it removes so much. You know, the jealousy goes down. Like you can always have a little jealousy, but you're at a point to where, okay, I feel jealous about this. You can talk about it easily. It's no issue because that communication is just you can't beat that.
Right.
And that's all it is. We love that. So, what I also have seen about Hot Wives is that Hot Wives have been, because there's been a bit of a movement on social media. It's kind of like the thing now, which is crazy because everybody wants to be a hot wife now. Everybody wants to be a swinger now.
And they're not even lifestylers.
They're
Didn't
not
go through the
lifestylers.
journey. They're just
And
calling
experience
themselves,
it.
not even married, and they just call themselves hot wives.
Exactly. So, how is it like being a wife of color? Because I've seen this thing called the Hot Wife Parade or Hot Wife Tour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Hot Wife Tour. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't see anybody that looked like us on the Hot Wife Tour.
And it wasn't anybody that looked like us.
So, especially with you having the social media, what's that been like for you?
I have a good amount of people that love me. I will say that. But I also have a good amount of people that do not like me and prefer me not to be in the hot wife lifestyle at all. So, hot wife lifestyle is pretty much dominated by white women. So, if you think of hot wife, the first thing you're going to think of is a white woman, black boy. It's race play all the time.
But it's masked by calling it hot wife.
It's masked by calling it hot wife, but really it's race play.
It's race play.
It's deep almost.
Personally, I mean, and you know, I came across people, you know, that I'm really cool with. For me, as a black hot wife, it can be good, but then sometimes it can be like not so great. Like I've gotten banned from certain areas, certain subreddits on Reddit.
Wow.
Just because they didn't want me there. I didn't break any rules.
Or
I didn't post there, but I got banned from there.
We woke
you
up,
know, so it can be good, has its ups and its downs because it's not a norm to be a black hot wife. That's what it is.
That statement in itself becomes crazy to me because it's not a norm, but sometimes they don't realize it's not a norm because they're pushing against it. It's so many that want to break in and do it, but then when everybody's like, no, we don't want to see that.
Right.
We want to see the white couple with the
black
white, with the black guy, and you're a black hot wife, and you're like, you know what, we don't want to see that, so you push back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it continues and it grows, and you get more white couples wanting that, and they crown themselves as Queen of Spades.
Yes.
Some of them don't even know what it means, but they see what the top ones are doing, and they mimic it. And the fans, they're like, "Whoa, who's this new Queen of Spades?" And you're like, "Hey, we're black hot wives. We look nice here." They're like, "But you can't be a Queen of Spades," which black women should be the queen of spades.
Right.
We should. I would never call myself a queen of spades, but I also feel like no one else should call themselves queen of spades either.
If
because
anybody,
that has
women.
a deeper meaning to it that some people do not understand. So,
it's and really it's getting ridiculous because it's just race play. And a lot of these queen of spades you would meet, they would say, well, I have a preference for black men. And then you turn around, well, you're going home to your white husband with your white kids.
They'll say, I have a preference. Well, I have a preference for black guys, so I don't see what the problem is. So I'm thinking, okay, you have a preference for black guys. You would never date a black guy.
Yeah.
You would never marry a black guy.
Yeah.
You would never hang around these type of dudes on a regular basis.
Yeah, and it's...
So you cannot tell me you have a preference for a black guy when you are married to a white man. You have children by this man.
They would never
touch, yeah, and...
So how do you have a preference for them?
Yeah, and it's...
And honestly, they're used as just a tool, as just a member.
That's why they're just
They're not just
BBC.
BBC. They're not just a member. They're way more than that.
And
Like, they're intelligent people. Like, our black men are intelligent people.
Yeah.
Like, they're way more than just that.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't like when they are advertised in that way, because they're way more than
advertisement
that.
is deep.
So, yeah, like...
So when you say advertisement, what do you mean?
So a lot of times...
Advertise is just, BBC.
Yeah.
Like, BBC, like, that's the thing.
Or
That's
what
all
about
you
the
hear.
times they're like, oh, he's so much bigger, stronger, he can fuck better,
He can-
but
and
then
I'm like,
you don't see smarter,
intelligent,
kind,
hardworking,
gentle.
Like so
You don't
many
see
other
those
things
type of
you can
labels.
say, but you choose not to say that about them because they're not that to
And
you.
it's-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And it's not saying every white couple
couples
that
like
does.
that, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not.
not every
There's
white
some
couple
that just
does
really
that.
vibe with anybody, and they're
Yeah.
and they're dope.
But some of them do,
They directly cater to that, and it's sad to say, BBC and the Hotwife community is building generational wealth for white families because those BBC aren't getting that same energy, respect, and return. Very few black bulls are getting that love and that the monetize. Well, they want to monetize what they do, but they aren't getting the same as the white housewives that use them.
So that's a good question because we haven't had these conversations with anybody and gone down to it. So is the pay gap that significant?
Yes.
Between the two?
Yes. It's like you have those black bulls that make money, but it's maybe
It's
5 to 10 at the most.
to 10 at the most.
But then you
Very
turn
few.
around, you will see these white housewives making $100K a month.
Wow.
We've met
200, like they're making so much money off of these guys.
And
These
all they
guys
have to
aren't
do is
making
show up.
anything,
Yeah,
but they're being used.
and they're being used,
And
and
they're not getting any of that.
it's
they're not
so many.
touching
and
that kind of money.
they
that
don't
these
even
wives are
touch it.
touching.
There's so many, and nobody pays attention to them. They only pay attention to your BBC when you're on their
channel.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
their channel, but they won't subscribe to you because you're just another BBC.
Just a BBC.
You don't have a
that's all
name.
you are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a name. That's all you
You
are.
just look at that BBC. Not this person. That it's just that BBC, and it comes to a point to where if a black hot wife wants to have fun with that guy they deem that BBC, a lot of times that BBC won't work with you because this isn't going to do anything for me.
It's not going to help them out.
Oh, you're not as popular as that white hot wife. When you're like, well, we're not as popular as her because you keep working with her.
Right.
And that BBC keeps working with her. If you take 10 of those guys that they call themselves BBCs for those white wives and they came over this way and did the same for black housewives, you'll see a shift.
Or what if they create their own shit?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're the source.
And
They're
essentially,
needed. That's
The
what,
hot
yeah,
wife is the
essential.
supply. The BBC
Yes.
is the
Right.
demand.
yeah, and
Right?
they
So
don't get that.
go. Or get together because you're right.
Yeah.
We've heard people making buku bucks, right? So
Millions.
if they're the BBCs that's not making them, band together. Hey, well, exactly how we follow you guys. So we were able to have a conversation with you guys.
Yeah.
They got to be able to have the same network.
It's same.
Have that conversation.
Yes.
Yo, let's do this together. Let's get. So now we got
Same.
3. Then we got 4. Then we got all of them. Now
Right.
we have our own network
Yeah.
for BBC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, and now this is also making $200K a month.
Yeah.
Because they're the source.
Yeah, and they don't get that. And a lot of times, it's not even just about the monetization. The more they see couples like us grow, the more black couples come and they enjoy the lifestyle.
Yeah, they
Yes,
feel more
there's so many-
comfortable about
there's
coming
so
out. They feel
many-
accepted. Yeah.
So many send
There's somewhere to
DMs.
go, like-
Like,
Yeah.
we're so happy to see
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
see,
You guys
yeah.
give us hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
We
we
get it
wanted
because
to
of
do
you,
this,
yeah.
we were
Yes.
just afraid.
Yeah.
There's so many, right? If more and more were able
Yes.
to come out and be able to have these conversations, which is why we're here.
Yeah,
We're literally doing
exactly.
this here right now
Yes.
because we want everybody to know that you can do this and you can have
You can.
and you can still be dope ass parents and still
You
be
can.
amazing at your job and
Yeah.
and you know so
It doesn't change anything.
it doesn't change
right?
any of that. So to not worry about that.
Yeah, and that's the issue. I feel it's like the more the pushback comes on couples like us.
That's the major. That's
It
what's
pushes
hindering
back.
black
Yeah.
hot wives. That's a major issue with why there aren't many black hot
So many
wives.
people, where are they?
And
Where
they'll be like, well,
they're scared.
well, we don't film with black hot wives because there aren't any black hot wives. And you know of a few. It's a few of us that
Yeah.
are pretty popular.
Yeah.
That you know of.
That's
you
why
just
I'm
choose
like
not
shocked.
to.
I'm shocked to hear them even say that
Yes.
because you
Yeah.
know.
I'm not saying it's a whole lot because it's not, but it's
But
a
it's
few
enough.
of us that you do know or you've heard of before. But you feel like your dollar will stretch longer with a white hot wife versus
Yeah.
a black one, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily true. That's only because you deem it to be that way. Like, that's only because you make it that way, you know?
And hearing you say that kind of reminded, we got a message once before, and again, we're so positive and we don't post into this shit. But
Right.
somebody, he sent a picture of his wife,
Oh yeah.
and she had she was like, it was like from here down, right? She had a Queen of Spades tattoo on her,
Okay.
and the picture was terrible.
Okay.
The quality was terrible. I'm not saying she was terrible. She was not
Right.
good. She was subpar.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
She just gave a thumbs up on the photo, right?
Yeah.
And a day later, I guess he said his response was, "That's it. That's it." So we're like, "Well, I mean, you sent us a faceless, naked photo,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
What do you want?
What do you want? Do you know how many DMs we receive every day? I mean, do you know how many friends we have who we just look at their pictures?
Right.
So this means nothing to us,
Yeah.
right? We've never had a message, a conversation with you, so I don't know who it is. It's not
And
like
we
somebody
acknowledge
who
the
we've
picture.
spoken to,
Right.
Right. So that, yes, we acknowledged it. Be fucking happy that we acknowledged it. Keep
Right.
on moving. Oh no, that wasn't enough. Then all the monkey stuff came out.
I
Then-
saw that.
Oh yeah.
I commented under it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
that-
I was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
The
so
truth.
Now-
it was,
now it's
it
not
was,
okay.
It was good enough because you thought that I was gonna fuck your wife.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's
But
crazy.
now that and we weren't cursing enough for coming up
Right.
crazy, but now that we was able to articulate that you fucked up, bro. And,
Yeah.
and how you came, everything came. You sent a busted ass photo with a faceless woman that we could truly care less about. Right?
That's crazy.
Now you're mad. Now we're all of these names and this go get a job, go work. Say you have no idea what I do for work.
Exactly.
You have no idea how much money I
Exactly.
make.
Right.
You don't know how much education I have. You have
Right,
no
you don't know,
clue,
right.
bro. You have no clue. But he was just going and going and going.
That is nuts. And yeah, and you get a lot of that. Like we've seen, like when Elon Musk took over Twitter, you've seen a lot of Queen of Spades, these white couples, start tweeting and liking the most extreme anti-black propaganda, and we're like, whoa, wait, you're Queen of Spades.
Mhm.
You love black men, but you, like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of blew us. We couldn't believe
It's
it.
just coming to the surface now.
Yeah, and it was
It's
like,
just coming out to the surface now.
yeah, and we're like, oh, we can say what we want now. We actually have sex and put it on Twitter. What more can we do? What did you want to say you couldn't say before? And it's
Right.
like, you're like, now I can like and say, and it's just, it really blew our minds to see that, and you will still see the same black bulls work with them and continue and don't care. And they understand. Some of them be like, yeah.
I mean, personally, I
Yeah.
feel like you don't have a right to say you're a Queen of Spades.
You don't.
You don't have a right to say that.
And if
It
you-
has a
yeah.
deeper historical meaning that people do not understand.
Yeah.
And I mean, they'll say, "Oh, it's not race. It's not, it's not racist. It's just, that's just how things are." They'll take it really lightly,
Yeah.
but it's not nothing to take lightly. I feel like you have no place to say that.
Yeah. It's
It's
just,
very disrespectful, in my opinion.
And if-
So, I would prefer if other hot wives do not call themselves that.
Yeah.
But everyone is going to do
Yeah,
what
they're
they
going
want.
to keep doing it because a lot of people are coming out. They don't even know what it means. They just see other big white
and
couples.
use it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if you truly are a queen of spades and you love black men, you should love black women the same.
That's
Right.
another issue. You love black men so much. They're
So much.
kings. They're this. You don't love the black women they come from.
Yeah. Well, just support them and
You don't
it's
support
just,
them.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
support them.
And it's
They're kings. You don't support their queens though. Like that's my thing. Like I've seen so many hot wives. Oh, queen of spades. But you have an issue with me. You're not supportive of me.
And yeah, we'll get
Why?
those same messages.
I've done nothing to you.
We've been called the N-word. We've been called, oh, you can't be a queen of spades because you're this, and you're not really a hot wife, and because you're black. We've got a lot of those. Yeah, it's when really we're like it's become a thing to where hot wifing is just a mask for race play for a lot of these
Yes.
couples, and that's all
And
it is.
honestly, at this point, just call it what it is.
Yeah.
If you
Stop
just call it
saying
what it is,
that.
we'll be okay.
Just call it what it is. Like, because that's what it is.
And that's just what it is. And even a lot of black girls, they like it, they know it,
Yeah.
and they can just admit it. So it's a shame. It goes deeper than that, and it's like you'll be talking all day. It's just to even say queen of spade. What is the spade? It's obviously black.
Right.
And
That's
back
why
in the
you're
day,
calling yourself
you
that.
know, us calling when
Back in the
people
day,
said a spade is
What
a
was
spade.
a spade? A spade is a spade. Back
And
then,
it's so many
that was
other
a
things.
racial slur
Yeah.
to black people. So
It's basically saying
You have
I'm
no
gonna say
right to call
an
yourself
N-word is
that.
an N-word.
Yeah.
And so it's just to even look at the spade and saying it's black. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And calling yourself the queen of that, it's insane.
Well, I guess we're fortunate to not have had that sort of exposure to that besides the one instance, but we definitely see it, and I have seen that moving on your page. So that's something that I definitely wanted to ask about because we're definitely agreeing that that's not okay.
yeah.
It's not okay at all.
It's not really a lot of black hot wives, as you know. So I just, I'm already out here, doing it. I'm a black hot wife. I'm already out here doing it. Like, I don't see anything wrong with me just voicing my opinion on the way things are going, like within this lifestyle as a hot wife, as a black hot wife.
Our job is to fix it.
Yeah.
Our job is to fix it. That's why I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
Because it starts here. It starts by
Exactly.
us conversations. It starts by us not accepting things. And then maybe somebody sees this. And
Right.
maybe the bulls, like I said, stop letting themselves get objectified.
And it's for them too. Like we don't just speak up for black hot wives.
Yeah, it's not just for
For the
black
black
hot wives.
bulls,
It's
too,
for the
like-
men too.
Yeah.
Like, I speak up for them too, honestly. So I don't like our black men getting used like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't.
And like I said, and you don't have to be just black to support it. You could be a white hot wife couple and be all in with it. Like, hey, we got you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's not even
It's
just
not just one side.
it's
not
not just an
one-sided.
all black thing. Like, you can come support us.
Yeah,
You can
definitely.
come have our back. It doesn't matter. Because it's sad that black women as hot wives are at the bottom of the totem pole. You have
Shouldn't
white
be that way.
at the top, but they're like, okay, we'll take anything else other than black. And
Yes.
you'll see it. It's so many more non-black hot wives that
On
can get.
Reddit, I am the only black hot wife that posts in Reddit. In the hot wife section,
Yeah.
I am the only black hot wife that
We
posts.
went back
There's no other black hot
The
wife that
other
posts in that section.
we went like 100 posts back, and it was her again.
Yes.
And, it's
And I
like,
keep doing it because I want people to know that it is black.
Okay, so I got one more question before we end this.
Okay.
You don't have to say the names. You don't have to say the couple, but this is what we're gonna call you know who you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Where the craziest incident that you guys have had,
Good or bad?
good or bad, but the craziest incident that you guys have had in this lifestyle.
Oh,
Would it be wrong?
it's the raw dick bandit dude.
The raw dick bandit.
You both said it together. So
We named him.
We named him. Yeah. So a lot of times, like when we have, unless the person is just awesome, and we most of the time we meet pretty cool people.
Yeah, most of the time.
But when we meet somebody and they do something, they kind of have nicknames. And
That's cool.
we've also had this incident where we had a guy and he didn't clean his ass, and it was the loudest of loud.
Yeah,
we
we
call
was
him
like,
the
no.
booty bandit. So, but raw dick bandit, it was a guy. he first came over for MFM. You know, everybody asks about protection or not. Like,
so we agreed to use condoms.
Yeah.
First off, with this guy,
right?
We agreed to use condoms.
And what was said was, over time, if we continue and we get comfortable, which everybody knows, a couple of play dates, then maybe then we can think about doing it wrong.
Yeah.
He didn't know what overtime meant, I guess. So we were doing it in. So what do you call it?
We were
the Eiffel Tower. I think they call it. Yeah.
I think I was like giving you a blowjob, and he was supposed to get behind me or whatever. So he's supposed to get behind me. He was supposed to put his condom on. So he literally tried to like go in me raw. And I kind of, and I kind of like knew, like, cause he like put like the tip of his head, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, he knew he was supposed to wear a condom, and he's like, oh, like I forgot, and I'm like, you didn't forget.
He didn't forget.
I specifically told you that you
don't
had to
forget
wear
anything
one.
like that.
But the best part, he grabbed it beforehand.
Oh, and made it.
But I can tell, like, it wasn't anything on it.
So can you guys tell that?
Yeah.
You can feel bare skin versus like a condom.
I mean,
right. I was like, you knew?
I didn't know that you guys could know that.
Yeah, so that was just like not okay.
Yeah, and for me, I was mad because I didn't catch it, but it was like still early on in our process.
Right.
So I didn't have that ability to just gauge and look everywhere.
But he was like so furious because like, when people have certain rules, like, and it's like, come on.
And that's just like, come on, man. And it was one of those times to where you're so furious, you stop yourself from doing something before you go too far.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, and he made it worse. So we kind of wrapped it up. She's like, oh, I'm kind of tired, whatever.
Yeah.
She's in the bathroom. He follows her to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So he's making it worse. I don't know if there's something wrong with him. He's like, you ever did mini gangbang? No, he asked me that first in the room. Then he went to the bathroom and followed her. I already told him, no, we don't do that. She doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. Then he goes and asks her again. And I'm like, why would you go ask her after you just asked me?
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess if you want to do it, I'll ask you again. And it felt like he was demeaning me. I'm like, I just told you she doesn't do that.
He was just being weird overall. So
overall, it's just weird. He was just doing weird stuff. And I'm like, I'm telling her, I'm looking at Cassie like, hey, you have to get out before I really go to jail. I was so angry. It wasn't just about fighting. I just wanted to hurt him because, and normally we're just peaceful people. We don't do that type of stuff. But for somebody to do that and not read the room, how wrong you were, and then eventually he was like, but I thought you said when you get comfortable. What did you think that meant?
But did you ask me about
that? You didn't feel us being comfortable right now.
And
when it's comfortable.
Yeah, so it was just that, and it just blew my mind. And I'm gonna give you something spicy. Something crazy. The craziest thing that happened to me, and it was. I shouldn't even reveal this, but just for y'all, because I like y'all.
You can't name drop.
Oh,
you don't have to name drop.
No,
we'll cut it out. We'll cut it out.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We'll cut it out.
I'm sorry.
He said the name. Yeah, he said the name.
But it's not a creator. But this is perfect. I'm sorry. Edit that out. Okay, but so we were. She was in doggy. He was behind her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try something different. I'm like, maybe I'll eat her out while he's inside her. And I'm like, what's going wrong? So I'm eating her, and I'm like, this is not bad because I'm like, okay, you think like since he's going in, you're gonna be right here. I'm like, it's not. I'm like, okay, I'm nowhere near. I'm good. I'm doing a thing. I'm like, we giving her this pleasure. He strokes too far. I don't know what happens. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
And what made it worse? I'm thinking he's like, oh my bad. He's like,
yeah.
He said, yeah.
I'm like, whoa. He just. It's like, he's like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, no, bro. Yeah. And it's just like, and that for me was one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me. Yeah.
I needed that one. I fucking needed that one. That is.
So yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Shit, well, you took the number one with that one. That's definitely crazy.
That's funny.
Well, listen, we cannot thank you guys enough for taking the time out of your busy day, your kids, and everything that you guys are doing to at least come spend some time with us to help shed some light on this amazing life that we live,
Yeah.
given a different perspective of it, not just ours, we get somebody else. Again, Scotty, everything?
No, guys. No, for real, thanks for coming and meeting us.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So it's finally good to see you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna
Meet you guys in
keep it going.
person.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so when you guys come to Miami,
I'm
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be there soon.
Yeah.
So, this is another episode of the Our Life
Style.
podcast. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank our lovely guests for coming. On to the next one. That's what